Now, Luna's story is an incredibly profound depiction of shadow integration. At first, she is Nightmare Moon, a classic shadow manifestation. She embodies jealousy, isolation, the resentment that festers when one's talents and contributions feel underappreciated. And you see, her transformation into Nightmare Moon is essentially Luna falling prey to her own shadow. It's her giving in to those darker impulses. It's a cautionary tale that echoes Jung's warning about the dangers of repressing darker elements of our psyche. When we fail to acknowledge those parts of ourselves, well, they can consume us. They can grow until they overwhelm the persona we present to the world. Luna's journey to redemption, orchestrated by the main six, is not just a simple act of being saved. It's about re-establishing balance. It's about bringing her shadow side into the light, about integration, about facing those darker parts of herself and transforming them. And it's crucial to note, it doesn't happen all at once. The process is not instantaneous. She has to earn forgiveness, not only from others, but also from herself. And that's a very difficult thing to do, isn't it? Because forgiveness, in the Jungian sense, isn't about pretending those flaws never existed. It's not about forgetting or sweeping things under the rug. It's about reconciling them, understanding them, and then moving forward. It's a kind of symbolic death and rebirth of the self. Luna's redemption is also about humility, recognizing the damage she caused and striving to make amends. And that's something we all face in our lives. We all have aspects of ourselves that we wish we could ignore. Those feelings of envy, of resentment, that feeling of being slighted when others don't recognize our contributions. Luna's story is about what happens when we let those feelings grow unchecked, when we let them fester in the dark. But her redemption is about the courage to confront those feelings, to bring them into the light, to accept responsibility for them, and to move forward in a way that's constructive rather than destructive. And after her return, she doesn't just magically become who she once was. She has to earn that forgiveness. And it's an ongoing process. She has to work to regain the trust of her sister, of the ponies she once terrorized. And more importantly, she has to forgive herself, which is often the hardest part. You see, true forgiveness requires a kind of death of the old self, the part of oneself that allowed the resentment and envy to take hold. It requires a rebirth, a recommitment to a new way of being. And that's why Luna's story is so compelling, because it's not just about the external acts of redemption. It's about the internal transformation that has to occur for true healing to take place. Luna's journey also symbolizes the balance between light and dark that we all need to find within ourselves. She and Celestia are two sides of the same coin. Celestia represents the light, the order, the conscious striving for what is good. Luna, on the other hand, represents the night, the unconscious, the chaos that lurks within all of us. The redemption of Luna is the integration of that darkness. It's the acceptance that those elements exist, and instead of trying to suppress them, we bring them into harmony with the rest of our being. That's what Jung would call individuation, the process of becoming a whole, integrated person. The act of forgiveness here is layered. It's not just Celestia forgiving Luna, it's Luna forgiving herself, and it's society allowing her back in, giving her the space to be redeemed. And it's crucial that this forgiveness is earned through action, through change. It's not a passive acceptance, but an active reconciliation, a daily commitment to doing better, to being better. And in that sense, Luna's story speaks to all of us. It's a reminder that our darker sides are not to be ignored or denied, but to be faced, integrated, and transformed. It's a reminder that the path to forgiveness, real forgiveness, starts with the courage to look at ourselves honestly, to acknowledge our faults, and to do the work necessary to bring those parts of ourselves into the light.